Hey, Nyakun here. Welcome to OB Studios. In today's video, let's take a look at a plugin from Element Hives. So Element Hives released a Breakdance plugin, and I'm going to show you how to use their new plugin to add a bit of flair to your website. So in here is a page that I have created on my WordPress website, and then I've also installed Element Hives on my WordPress website. So let me go to plugin. You can see that I have 3 plugins over here: Breakdance, Element Hives, and Motion.Page. All right, so Element Hives is free for now. I don't know if that is going to change, but it is really a nice plugin, and things that is inside, you might have seen it on so many other websites. So that is what I'm going to take you through so that you can see how to use it and some of the features that comes with it. So in here, I'm going to add a section. So let me just detail my section out. Align, center, background color. I'm going to use this background color. For text, I'm not going to do anything. For the size, I'm going to give a content fit. For width, I'm going to do custom, and then I'm going to put 980 for the width. For spacing, I'm going to put 0 first and apply it to all sides, and then on the left and the right, 120, and that is good. No dividers, no borders. And then here's Element Hives. You can also use Element Hives for like your background, what background type you want to do, the fluid, and then in here you can say relative to section, color, random color. So if you want all of this, you can do that. Draw on load, and then there's a boom or something like that. You can do swirl raise. So that is something that you can also do. Yeah, so that is one thing that you can do if you are if you have Element Hives also included, but I'm not going to use this background for now. There's also a mouse cursor over here, in color, and then the cursor type, track. So yeah, if you've seen some of these things, yeah, so you can use Element Hives to also do that. If this one had more like, let's say, a custom upload, if you're able to upload your own thing, then probably it will be much more fancier. But right now it is what it is. So this is a drop, this is a droplet. So that's how like it moves. Yeah, so I think if anything, we should have more like like an image or an SVG, where you're able to like apply the SVG here, and then it goes it follows like your mouse and other stuff like that. But that is that, but I'm not going to use that for now. So in here, I already placed in my element. Let's get into some of the other stuff that comes with it. So I'm going to add a heading, and for this, go to Figma. I'm going to copy this. All right, make sure that this spacing working. I made a mistake with this. So it is the top and the bottom, that should be 120. All right, that is good. So in here, I'm going to paste in my text. All right, make sure that, let's go into typography. I'm going to give this one H1. And then in here, I'm going to make it text. All right, I'm just going to customize this a minute. Give this one a 40. I'll give this one 600, and then I'm going to make this one all caps like that. Okay, that is good. So that is short story about photography. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to add a div. So let me add a div in here. So the div is going to have this text. So I'm going to have 2 texts in that div. So the text that we are going to use is not the normal Breakdance text. We're going to use the text that comes with Element Hives. So I'm just going to click on this so that the text is added. And here I'm going to paste the text that I'm going to use. That is fine. All right, so let's go into typography, and then I'm going to go to preset, and I'm going to use text reveal. That is good. And then for color, we're going to use black. All right, that is cool. Let me click on my section, go to layout, and then the gap. So the gap in between the element and the section, 45. All right, so as you can see, when you hover on your text, you see an image that comes with it. And this is something that you might have seen on so many other websites that has this effect on it. So I'm going to click on here and then go to, let's say, media align center. What happens? So this is what happens. Let me just remove that. So when you align center, it brings more like the image to the middle like that. There's nothing wrong with that. So that is good. So that's the first thing that I want to do. I'm going to duplicate this, go into here and then copy that. And I'm going to change this one to this and then go to styling. And for the styling, I'm going to change this one to P text. And that is good. Make sure that we go to decoration and then remove that. All right. So I think I'm using the wrong text for this. So I'm going to go to basic and then just put in a normal text. I'm going to remove this with a normal text because I don't want an image. So on typography, I'm going to go to presets and then I'm going to use this preset that I already made. And then I'm going to choose black for that. All right, so that is good. And this, I'm going to go to layout, make sure that in between is 15. That is fine. Let's just duplicate this. And then I'm going to move it out of the div, close the div, and then bring it down. Make sure that this is selected. Go to styling. I'm going to make this one left centered. And that is fine. All right, so let's just keep copying these texts that we have. Paste. So duplicate. Next one. Copy. Paste. This one too. Duplicate that. Paste. And then this has a different styling. So I'm going to go to the presets and then give it 96 like that. And then over here, I'm going to change this one to 600. That's semi-bold, right? I think that's semi-bold. Yeah, change to 600. That's fine. And then at the end, probably just leave it at 400. And then at the end, we have text called the end. And this one should have the 96, but more like 700. And that should be good. All right, so there's the build. All right, so the first one, I'm going to click and then I'm going to select my image. All right, so for the image, I'm going to choose this and then click on choose. All right, so that is the image that we are using for this. The second one, make sure I go to media and then click on choose. And the second image is going to be that. So there's the third image. All right, so we added 3 images here. The last one is going to be, not the last one, but the image for this. The last but not the least is going to be this one. So over here, I'm going to go to media. I'm going to pick that. All right, so right now we have added all the pictures that we need. I'm just going to save this. And then I'm going to go to the front end. So when you hover, you can see that your pictures just shows just like that. And then there's an animation to it. You can change how the pictures show for the animation. So I'm going to go in here, click on the media reveal. So the first one, which is that we can change how the reveal style is. So I think this one's the first one. All right, so we choose the first one for this. Over here, the second one, we are going to also change this one to, let's say 2. Let's change it to 3. And then for the third one, we're also going to change the reveal to probably 6. And then this one too, we are going to change the reveal to, let's say an 8. And last one, but not the least, go in here and then change this one to a 4. All right, so that is how to apply this animation using element hives. That is specifically for Breakdance page builder. So this is pretty nice. Like, there are so many things that you can do with this, and in my head I'm thinking about all the nice things that I'll be able to use this to do. But definitely you might have seen this in so many other places, and then you were wondering how to do it. But now you can do it using element hives if you are on Breakdance. If not, you might have to use, I think, Web3, no, I think 3JS, and then WebGL, one of those things. You might have to use the code to do it, unless you have a plugin to also do that. So that is that for this part. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a little bit of motion page animation. So over here, I'm going to click, I'm in the back end, I'm going to click on motion page, and then I'm going to create a new timeline. And then for this new timeline, we're going to call it element. Okay. Element hive. That is good. All right. So what do we want? We want to change the page here to element hive. All right. That is okay. So what we want is, we want when the page loads, we want to create a bit of text split for the word. So there's our first time, there's our timeline. So what I'm going to do is to select what I want. All right, so I'm going to select this text. You can see that it has its own, I think we can use, if I choose this, right, and then I stagger, let's say I push this one up 30%. Let's push it up 30%, right? And then I scroll down on text split. Instead of doing character, I do words. Or I can even do line. So if I do line and then I play it, you can see that all of them is coming at the same time. But what I am going to do is to put in the stagger and put, let's say, go back. All right, so line is not really fancy enough. I'm going to do, let's say, words, save it. All right, so let's say we're going to add a bit of opacity, to this. Let's say we give a opacity of 0. Go back. All right, not fast enough, so I'm going to bring this one all the way down. Go back. So there's one way of doing it. You can add like a scale if you want. You can let it scale from probably 0. That's also something to do, but don't go too crazy on this. Let's say 0 on this and then save it. That's also another way, but let's not apply it to everything. Let's apply it to this one. So let's save it and then go back. All right, so that is one. I'm going to duplicate this. And then for this, I'm going to delete that. And then I'm going to choose this. And then for this, I'm going to remove scale. And then I'm just going to do rotate 30 degrees. I'm going to save it. All right, 30 degrees is a bit too harsh. Let's say 10 or probably 5. 5 degrees is okay. Go back. All right, so what I'm going to do is push this one over here. Maybe bring it back around this side. All right, so the next one, bring this here, and then I'm going to duplicate that, bring it here, and then I'm going to remove this and then choose this text. All right, so over here, I'm going to remove the rotate, and then I'm going to do skew. So for skew, I'm just going to give it like probably a 20. All right, so that is good. The next one is duplicate that. And then over here, we are going to remove this and then choose that. All right, instead of skew, let's say dimension. Let's try dimension for like 20. Let's see what happens. So go back. Probably nothing much. So I'm going to go into let's say skew, right? So for skew, I'm going to do let's say 20 for the width. So go back. All right, that is good. So this takes like 3 seconds for everything to load. So last but not the least, I'm going to duplicate this, push it over here. And then I'm going to remove that and then select this text. All right, so for this, instead of using the word, I'm going to use characters. Save that. And then I'm going to make this one a second. I don't know what that was, but let's refresh this. All right, so if someone hovers on this, that can also see, if let's say we're trying to tell a story, like how I'm trying to tell this story, these images are not really reflective of what we have over here, but you can tell a story. Someone hovers on the text, we'll be able to see like the image that comes with it. So this more like the text split. I don't know what this why this is doing that, but I'm going to go to Motion.Page again, and let's see. Probably just do that. If you do worse, what happens? All right, I'm just going to leave worse. I think there was an issue that I might have to really look into why that is happening. All right, so there's one here too. I'm going to refresh. All right, so there's something to point out to the people at Motion.Page, but apart from that, everything works good. All right, so I'll say that is that. So in this video, we are using Breakdance, Motion.Page, and Element Hive. So Element Hive is what is giving us this cool text image reveal that we can see, and then Motion.Page is what I'm using for the text split, causing the text to move this way. So that is how to use all these 3 plugins at the same time. If you haven't purchased Motion.Page or Breakdance, you can do that using the link below. And then you should also try out this new plugin from Element Hive. I think it's pretty cool. This is Nyako. Peace out.